So at the moment, we have a perfect storm of changes in the industry that are really impacting customers' security landscape and offering opportunities for Fujitsu to help. Those include regulation. There's an unprecedented level of regulation within our industry over the last 2 years. That has resulted in the hyperscale providers investing to an unprecedented level in introducing security and regulatory capability into their platforms to support customers. At the same time, customers are looking at increased levels of transformation. So for example, the use of hyperscale providers is resulted in a shared responsibility matrix between what's the responsibility of the actual provider and the responsibility of the customer. Customers are embracing DevOps ways of working with co-located teams and unprecedented levels of collaboration between providers and various members of the supply chain. And last but not least, 8 out of 10 customers are now buying into a multi-cloud concept, and it's the gaps and differences between these different platforms that offer potential security issues if it's not dealt with appropriately. So Fujitsu offers a multi-layered security model that accounts for the shared responsibility matrix, allows support of regulatory compliance, allows DevOps to be embraced within the environment, and also crucially spots the gaps and differences between different cloud platforms with our dedicated multi-cloud security practice.
What's really critical is that the underlying platform has security engineered in, which we have done for many years now, so that the customer's data is secured at rest and in motion, but also to ensure that the applications have security wrapped around them. So rather than adding security to an environment, which yes, of course you have to do, we absolutely add security to the application, to the workload. Thus, when the workload moves, it takes its security with it. It takes the policies with it, and you don't have to refactor or re-authenticate or anything like that.
So Fujitsu and VMware are offering a range of both private and public cloud solutions. Now, it used to be the situation that private cloud platforms were only utilized by the actual customer directly. Increasingly, and certainly as part of a DevOps environment, a high degree of collaboration is required between multiple parties across that environment. Now that means in many cases, customers want to allow third parties, be those customers, suppliers, or parts of the broader supply chain, to access their private clouds. In that situation, we have deployed VMware's NSX-based technology to allow partitioning of the private cloud platforms so that access can be allowed securely to certain parts of the private cloud platform whilst maintaining the security integrity of those other aspects that perhaps you don't want third parties to access. Now, with the use of the VMware Cloud on AWS, those same concepts can be extended directly into the public cloud. And in fact, without changing applications or without even changing the network addressing, that same demarcation and that same effective secure environments can be shared not only within the private cloud context, but in the public cloud context as well.
Critically, what we're seeing is Fujitsu and VMware working together, we're able to provide that pathway to a multi-cloud future eventually, where we're cost managing, scaling, and doing all the other things that customers want to do with cloud, but able to do that in a managed, controlled fashion, and critically without compromising security.